the man that took a hotel to the #1 spot on TripAdvisor in the most luxurious country in the world, Dubai. Upendra Gulrajani is in the house, and today he will talk about how to prepare for inspections, how to increase quality, and the tips and tricks you'll need to get your hotel to that #1 spot on TripAdvisor. All this and more on today's True Hotel Leaders, where leaders teach leaders. This episode was brought to you by Hotel Guest Management, the #1 hotel revenue experts. Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. It is Bruce Jordan, the Michael Jordan of hotels. And today we got another episode of True Hotel Leaders. And I got my man Upendra with me. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, nice to see you, Bruce. Welcome to New Jersey.
Yeah, welcome back to New Jersey.
Yes,
It's good to be home.
Yes.
But it's been a little cold for me.
Yes. This is still good. 51 today. Not
Yes.
bad for us.
Yes. Listen, I'm happy because it was like 51 when I left Florida.
Right.
Well, like I always ask everybody, how did you get your start in the hotel business and hospitality?
First and foremost, thank you for having me on the show. It's wonderful being with you. And I've been following your show for a while now, I would say. At least a year, actively following. And, you're doing amazing stuff.
Thank you.
Great job. I mean, it's a great contribution to the hospitality industry. And we need more people like you to bring this to a next level.
Thank you so much.
I got into this industry. I went to hotel school, got a formal education. To be honest, I got carried away by the glamour and the glitz and all that, which I realized in 2 years that this is not really, what hotels are all about and stuff like that. But fortunately, it worked out great for me. I have always remained committed to the industry, would never leave it, I enjoy it. And I would tell the newcomers, do it only if you're passionate about it.
Yes.
It definitely brings something unique in your personality. It develops you in a very unique way. You get extroverted, you are networking, you learn a lot. In brief, I would say you're literally like a mayor of a city because you learn a bit of everything. You learn engineering, you learn guest skills.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I think it's a wonderful industry to be in. And I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to be there for a while.
That is fantastic. Well, today we're going to be talking about hotel inspections and how to get prepared, some of the things that you should look out for, and the do's and don'ts. I hear you have quite the inspection background.
Yes, I do, because I strongly believe that it's all about quality. I think quality leads to wow experience, and people miss that part. They think wow experience is just by smiling at the guest or welcoming him or buying him a free drink or throwing in freebies. But I think the root of it is good quality checks. I think quality assurance is so critical, and I've been actually thankful for COVID. I think I'm the only radical person. I'm sure quite a few owners would want to kill me because, it hurt their revenues. And you were saying COVID's been great, because I think it's a real knock on their head that focus on quality, because that's what will lead you to better revenues, not, just, cutting costs and stuff like that. And, giving the housekeepers the more empowerment, I would actually retitle them. I would call them quality assurance inspectors and not housekeepers and room attendants or whatever, they are called in different organizations, use different terms and all that. I think it's a very integral part of it, of the entire hotel operation. It can make you or break you because,
Yes.
It ruins the experience right away. And the only way to achieve results is through quality assurance, inspections, checks and stuff like that. And not just, you got to do 20 room checks today and fill up a bunch of, checklists. I did 20 rooms. No. I think it's much, much more and much deeper than that, making the people understand that, why are we doing this? And
Correct.
if the basic human doing that is not empowered and excited and respected, I don't think there'll be results. So that's how I'm a great fan of quality, inspections and quality assurance, and that's how whatever I have done in a humble way evolved because of that. So
I agree 100%. I'm in these meetings all the time,
thank you.
and the first thing owners are looking at is how to cut expenses, and the expenses that they're going to cut directly affects revenue. So they're literally cutting off their own neck
Correct.
by trying to cut these expenses
I
that
agree with you.
none of them say, okay, how can we increase revenue? It's all, how can we cut expenses?
Correct. Yes.
So I'm like, well, if you're having a revenue problem, most problems are revenue problems.
Exactly.
Because no matter where you go, when you try to break when you try to cut the head off the golden goose, at the end of the day, you get no eggs.
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely.
and that's what they're used to, and they don't realize they're digging their own grave for the hotel.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100% on that. And I think they need to be educated more and more, and your show is a very good platform for them to understand this, because you're literally the voice for the industry, and I wish 1,000 owners listen to you and we bring about some drastic changes in the industry. And I think COVID is a awakening. It's a little slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
But I think they're getting it. They're focusing on it in a little way. I just hope they don't forget it, because in a couple years it could get on the back burner.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my biggest worry.
I
right
agree.
now they're very energized. Oh yes, quality is the way and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, but now speaking of quality, especially when it comes to quality assurance and quality inspections, we always get these surprise inspections. I just got an inspection not too long ago. I barely passed. I passed by with like 0.2% points, but I only had 6 months to turn around the hotel, which was a failing property. So,
right.
One of the things that I was always looking out for was, the checklists and everything else. But I know there's more to quality control than that. So what are some of the key things that you look out for when you're going into a new hotel and you're trying to get the quality to where it needs to be at the property?
I basically start with the exterior, what's the curb appeal like? Then of course the experience, the check-in experience, like the information experience, the cleanliness of the room. I basically call it luxury of the senses.
Okay.
So if it excites your senses, like what I see, what I smell, what I taste, what I touch, I go by that.
Nice.
Let's make it simple, because checklists kind of get, exhaustive, and it's very routine, and you just fill it for the sake of filling. But I tell them, sense it, feel it, touch it. How do you feel? Are you getting that wonderful scent, or you're getting a smell or whatever? So what would you like it to be? It has to be a nice scent. When you're feeling the sheets, they have to be, soft and nice, good thread counts and stuff like that. The touch, how is the furniture, how is the flooring and stuff like that. So once you get this, make them understand that it's for the senses, then you get onto the checklist. So that's what makes a little difference. It kind of makes it, more personalized, and that's the experience. And once you do that repeatedly, again and again, it becomes a routine.
Absolutely.
And that's very, very simple. It's not rocket science. That's what I keep telling them again and again. And one thing I bring again and again, 23 minutes, the industry standard. We should fight on that, because it's impossible sometimes.
23 minutes, no way.
Sometimes.
Especially in today's day and age. There's too much stuff inside of a room to clean something in 23 minutes.
Exactly. So when you focus on these things, automatically, the importance to quality comes, the experience gets better, and then you can charge more. I mean,
Correct.
it doesn't hurt, because people are looking, especially the millennials, they are looking for a great experience. They are all about experience and uniqueness of your properties. So if you can work these two areas, I'm sure there's great revenues. People are looking to travel. They're constantly newer locations and exciting places and stuff like that.
Now, we're in a day and age where I feel like standards are built in employees.
Correct.
So the standard of that employee is usually going to be the standard of the hotel.
Absolutely.
So what I know that you're really big into training. So what are some of the things that you instill in some of the employees during your training sessions?
I focus on attitude. My key area is attitude. If you have the right attitude, I can coach you into anything. But if you're not with the right attitude, then it's a waste of time. Your total, then you're not a candidate who's going to learn or be. So the selection process has to be very, very accurate, and once you find the right attitude people, you're going to win. And again, some cases the attitude can be developed. I mean, it's not necessary right off the person day one. It's an investment. I call it's like parenting. Your child is not day one, the perfect child. It takes a few years to get there,
That's true.
And if you put the right effort, if you talk to people with respect, try to understand cultures, because it's as US is a melting pot, people come from different cultures, and something might work for someone and something might not work for someone, so you don't just go, oh, this is the right way. No, maybe the opposite person has a different point of view.
Correct.
Being a listener, I mean, these are just what have been my success stories. And I'm constantly learning too because of my travels and stuff like that. So I come across different cultures all the time, and I take the best practices, from people.
Beautiful.
And move on, and that's what makes me.
Now, this is a good question. How many times have you failed an inspection and why?
Oh boy. In my past life, the most of the inspections where I have done is very high end. I was involved with the Regent brand, and I had Ritchie survey inspections.
Okay.
And Ritchie survey really, really kills you. I've had leading hotels of the world as well. I failed one, definitely. Definitely the first Ritchie one I failed because. And I don't want to sound cocky or anything like that. To be honestly, the standards were never communicated to me. Here's the manual. There you are.
And they I think they make it difficult that way for a reason. It's like, because a lot of these franchises, when you fail an inspection, they get this huge lump sum of fee that they get the charge. So it's almost like an incentive for you to fail, like
I know.
for them anyway. It's an incentive for them for you to fail.
Correct.
So I'm like, I just thought that was like so weird. Instead of saying, hey, you know what, you failed an inspection, here's a team that's going to help and guide you to where you could pass. It's like, here's a dollar amount that you have to pay us.
Correct. And that's how when I'm at the other end where now I conduct the inspections and I do that, I say followed inspection is a training program. I do it there and then because the topics are like right fresh in your mind, and you take it up that time, but not like here. I come on a 2-day inspection. You get a report in 48 hours. I think Ritchie has a standard, like within 48 hours, they have to give you the report. So the inspector is freaking out himself because he has targets and stuff like that. But the good part was also, even after failing the inspection, I established a great connection with the inspector, and she actually offered me a job, and I had to go through an interview, and the job interview was at the Four Seasons New York, where she said, "You're going to shadow me."
Nice.
So I got to see the other side of it also. Um, and and I realized, I said, they are so time bound, because they got to go to the next property.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, I don't think that's a very result oriented way to get something. Like if you're really looking after the well-being of an account or a client, whatever you want to call it, it has to be done in a different way. It has to be done in a different way.
I agree.
These are the big wigs, but they control the standards and the rules of the game, I would say, which is kind of disheartening. Yeah.
When you look at these big old brand standard manuals and everything that you have to pay attention to, I talked to like some of the franchise director, and even they were a little confused on some of the stuff. Like, yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't know where you can find that. Like, who is even putting this stuff into play, and what is the purpose of actually having all these brand standards that you need a whole executive team or 1,000 people behind the scenes to try to
Correct.
figure this stuff out?
Exactly. And very few people from the field are involved in setting these standards.
Exactly.
Which is so unrealistic. I mean, get the field involved because they know their pulse.
Mm-hmm.
I know of a certain brand where I won't mention the name. They said we are going to have our privileged members as a priority check-in.
Okay.
I said, wonderful. Priority check-in, we'll have a special counter for them. And who's going to man them? So the solution, they said, the agent who's manning the main desk will leave that counter and come to the priority check. I said, how would that person feel if you're checking me in? I'm going to be left alone. Oh, that's a priority member. Yeah. Are you ready to fund 2 people at the desk? No. So how is it a standard? Like, what are you trying to do?
Well, the thing is that it works at an airport, so that means it should work at a hotel.
But those are like self check-in counters. But this is not a self check-in counter. When it's going in the process. So yeah, sometimes they are very, very unrealistic, and that's what hurts. It kind of hurts. It's not like I'm mocking them or making fun of them or anything like that. No, it kind of hurts because I'm a passionate hotelier, and my basic goal is let there be more wow experiences. More people should enjoy. As it, hotels have always been rated as the #1 for guest experience. They say the hospitality is the highest in hotels rather than in any other, like a car rental company or an airline and stuff like that. So let us live up to those standards, why not? I mean, create the best experiences and let people enjoy their stays.
Speaking of standards and experience, you had the opportunity to take a hotel in Dubai to #1 on TripAdvisor. Like, what was that experience like,
wonderful.
And what did that take?
Oh, it was an amazing experience, and I wouldn't give credit to me myself. I think collaboration is the key. If you can collaborate with your account or client and stuff like that, that's what helps. So the leadership of that hotel, Mr. J.S. Anand, who owns the brand, put in his lifetime savings and effort. He literally put everything on the line to create this brand. And the only reason he created this brand, because he also came from the high-end hotels and stuff like that. And he says, I want a brand which is affordable and to give the same experience. So basically, I think our philosophies matched, and that's what led to this amazing result where we got the team so excited and committed, and every guest was looked after so well, and that's how we reached to that level. So it was total collaboration. I wouldn't say I did anything. It was an amazing team that did it. I was just probably channelizing energies, taking energy and making it synergy. That's all what I did.
Like, what is some of the advice that you would give for people that are trying to achieve the same thing? Like, they're not where they want to be on the list. They're not where they want to be on quality. and they feel like giving quality service is more of a budget thing. Like, I don't have the budget to give the quality of service that.
I think everybody has a budget. It's, basically staying focused, staying clean, staying hygienic, and that eye for detail. With constant training, shadowing, you can achieve it. Because if we could take a new brand like Lever brand, who's been just a couple years in the game, reach that level, I think it's achievable for anyone and everyone.
Nice.
It's definitely achievable.
Now, speaking of achievements, what is one hotel? You don't have to say the name. One hotel that you felt like it was almost impossible to get this hotel to the level that you needed, and you was actually able to accomplish it.
I think I did make progress with one. It was very, 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 very tough. It took a long time. I think it was more convincing the owner.
Isn't it always?
I think I wish I could say the name, but I can't. It took more of my energies having meetings with him and making him understand why I want this done.
Yeah.
It took me years.
For me, that's always my biggest problem, is that 98% of the market, they're expense focused.
Yes.
They're not revenue focused. So when I point out all their revenue issues, all they see is expenses.
Yes, that's all.
Like if I have the same hotel, my ADR is $80. All I have to do is get the guests to feel comfortable and see the value in what I'm delivering to increase my ADR to $100, $120, $150.
Right.
My cost stays the same.
Exactly.
And all they see is, well, the expenses.
Correct. That's it. It's just, I think it's a mindset. It will take them a while.
Yeah.
Some will not. You have to write off a few, I'm sure. But that's the tougher part. It's more convincing the ownership, showing value to him and stuff like that. But I did manage to turn it around to a level, but not to the level I really wanted it to. But there were baby steps of progress, and he was happy with it, and I was okay with it.
Yeah. So let's say your hotel makes $150,000, right? You're able to increase the ADR by, $20, $30 to where your hotel is now making $210,000 or $220,000. Okay. Now even though your expenses are the same, they're decreasing because the percentages decrease as revenue goes up.
Yes.
So how do you? It sounds like something that's very simple to explain.
I know.
But they still don't get it.
They just don't. I think it's a lot of convincing, showing them the numbers, showing them the slides or whatever. Then probably they will see, probably after a year of operations, of successful, probably towards the end, and stuff like that. And so for this guy who was the thing I did a monthly P&L review with him. So I said, that will show you now. So first, you don't even know. He's just broadly looking at his expenses, So, sitting and doing that P&L review, which areas are you really overspending or whatever and stuff like that. So that kind of helped a little bit.
Okay.
Making him understand, the monthly P&L review, that became a tool to take him to the next level. So that helped a little bit. Maybe use that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now anything that you want to tell these hotel owners out here?
Don't give up. There is going to be successful revenues definitely coming your way, but don't give up on quality either.
Oh yeah. Now tell everybody about what you do in your company. And
so basically, Nextgen Hotels and Resorts is basically a quality assurance kind of a company where we go to hotels, we do the quality audits for them and follow up, end it with a wrap up training session. That's what we specialize in. We are located all over the globe, predominantly USA, UAE, India, very soon to make its mark in Africa, continent of Africa
beautiful.
too.
Beautiful.
I am super excited about working with the Lever brand in Uganda and Nigeria. So these are the two upcoming places. They're still in project stage, so it might take a year or so, but I'm super excited about it, you know.
Fantastic. Well, listen, thank you for joining us.
No, thank you for having me.
How can everybody get in touch with you?
My website, www.nextgenhotelsandresorts.com, is the best way to reach me.
Fantastic. And thank you for joining us for another episode of True Hotel Leaders, where leaders teach leaders. And we're signing off. You know who it is. It is Bruce Jordan, the Michael Jordan of Hotels. And guess what we got today? The hotel front desk log. Every hotel needs this. If you're tired of having sticky notes all over the place, you're tired of putting in everything in those systems, and then just have the internet crash or something happens, and guess what? You can't get a hold of your notes and everything else that's going on in your hotel. The hotel front desk log will get it there for you. Look what we got here. It's dated each and every day, so you could go back in history, and it doesn't require an electricity. So if the power goes out, you still have your notes. You have your cashier report right here, your cash count every shift, so you know exactly what's going on. You know exactly what shift has the variance. Okay, you got your housekeeping notes over here. All right, when housekeepers first come in, you got the notes of what they need to do first, who needs what, and of course you have each front desk shift, first, second, and third shift reports. You got your OTA contact. All right, so when the front desk needs to call OTAs, they don't have to be looking all over the place. Your vendor contacts, so when the front desk has to call a vendor, the numbers and the account numbers is right here for you. Everything you need is inside this book for your front desk. Go check out the front desk log, all right, the hotel front desk log for 2023. Just click the link below or just visit frontdesklog.com and it'll take you right to this amazing log. This is the best log of the year.